dude, these guys are two of the most influential figure. Like, all right, put it this way.
But also, okay.
Let me just continue.
Yeah.
So who Joe Rogan and Dave Joe Rogan has the biggest podcast in the world. Dave Portnoy runs Barstool Sports, which is this media network that has exploded over the past 10 years. And who are the fans of both of those? They're young men, young people, late teens to, 40s, which is arguably like the most influential cohort of people in any culture in any society as far as influencing what the standards of behavior are. So you have these two guys that are having that massive of an impact. It's pretty obvious that even though they're both a part of a different structure, Joe's more as a lack of it. He's just running his own podcast. They're both under of like any microscope because people are aware that that's what their influence is,
Yes, but it's like if it comes to like, oh, Joe Rogan just had a pretty crazy take. It's like, all right, it's fine. It's fucking Joe Rogan. What do you expect?
Yeah, but
When
Dave
Dave comes out with it, it's a lot. I feel like it's a lot more. Like if Joe Rogan says something super controversial and like, it's not going to be like people are going to be talking about it. I feel like a lot of news stores won't be picking it up that much. It's like, oh, it's Joe Rogan. That's what he does. He's a brash human being.
Right.
Whereas
I think
Dave
you're
says
right.
something super bad, he'll have to go on CNN and be like, no, let me explain that comment.
Okay. And I think what you're confusing here, you're right about Joe. I think what you might be also right about Jay, but I think what you might be discounting is the fact that Dave's willingness to do that is he cares about what people personally think about him because he is more of a status.
I really don't think he does, though.
Let me finish. So he's more compelled to correct the record. Like Joe, he could have all those same opportunities, but he doesn't give a shit as much. So he'll just, pass them. Like, I mean, you even kind of said it before. If you were getting constantly blasted, this isn't a bad thing, by the way. Like, I don't think this is negative either way. It's like, oh, if one person cares more about what people say about them, it's interesting because if you extrapolate, oh, what is the person who care more about his social standing and versus the person who's kind of less concerned about that? How could you expect their decision makings as far as what they would choose like for their careers and how they would grow their brands, what they would do? Well, I'd expect the person who's more status driven to pursue I'm going to make this big media corporation that influences a lot of people and sort of puts my stamp on the culture versus if I don't give a shit, I'm just going to start a podcast that it might grow, it might not. I'm just going to talk to the people who I want to talk to and see what happens. And if I'm good at it, it might become big, but and I'm not going to compromise along the way because the whole point of doing that is not because I'm trying to become this like high status person. I just want to do what I want to do. So that's why I think it's relevant.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that, but I still don't think Dave really cares that much about what people think of him. I truly, and like he said before, he goes, I don't care. Like, if you don't like me, he goes, like, that's fine. Don't like me. I don't care.
But he also says he's a petty person. So
yeah.
To me, like that.
The petty person and the fact that if somebody comes at him, he's either going to defend himself or he's going to come back at you.
Sure. So, but that's.
But he's not coming back. He's not coming back at you. Like, change your mind. Like, oh, please like me.
Okay. He might. You might be right. And this is all right. Where I'm coming from, he probably doesn't care as much as the way I'm putting it out to be. But I think relative to Joe Rogan, it's pretty significant. Is my point.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan could walk into the middle of Compton and yell the N-word. Yeah. Or say the N-word on his podcast and be like, oh, Joe, so edgy. If people like Dave did that, they'd be coming for his fucking head. They'd be boycotting outside his house.
Yeah. No, yeah, I mean, yeah, right. It's just...
I think I nailed that one on the head pretty good.